Hello everyone, Elite Gamer here, and this is welcome back everyone to part 5 of my Let's Play of Resident Evil Director's Cut for the original Sony PlayStation 1. So we've got quite a few items to our cost, certainly, that are really going to help us progress through the game. Because in a game like this, you can't really have one without the other. Goes without saying, right? Right, so we got that control room key. So let's make use of that little darling and interface for that control room key door. Once I get to the right place, of course. Darn wrong door, that's not the way I wanted to go, Joe love. We wanted the 002 door, I believe. Okay, right, so let's have a look through this little area and see what there is to see with the control room key door specifically. So I'll just get these overgrown lumps of wood out of the way. One more over there. And then we can navigate the little stairs down to the bottom. There's a ladder. Will you descend it? Of course I will. For gosh sake, whatever way is down, the way down there is in relative safety. The only way I can think for Jill to get down there in relative safety would be if Jill secretly, without telling anyone, man, woman or child, ended up developing the abilities, however unlikely, of self-propelled flight. Right, so in this area there's 3 crates, and we're to use said crates to push them along to a certain part of the room to use them as a makeshift suspension bridge with which to get to the other side. Two down, one to go. Now this final one has to be pushed in a certain way to get it where you want it to go, so each their own, but the trick I'd best recommend to get this to go where you want it to go would be to just nudge it up here like so, and then push it down like this once it's close enough to one of the adjoining walls, the way it is here in this Let's Play. Push it down yonder, and then when you're in the right position, boom, you can go into the blooming bits with the rest of the little fellas. Where we're alone now. Okay, crate, there you go. Into the ether of the rest of your little buddies, whatever. Hang on, wait a compec a minute, there's some additional herbs there. I don't remember seeing those there before. Now, either these herbs were in the original Resident Evil 1, ladies and gentlemen, or these herbs were exclusively put in this area and position in the Director's Cut only version of this game. But as it's been so long, I'm not entirely sure whether it's exclusive to this game or whether they've always been there in the original first game. At any rate, your guess is as good as mine, I dare say. It was a little too quiet for my liking. Almost like it's baiting me with a trap. And so it is. Damn it, pick on someone at your own size, Neptune, you blooming overgrown streak of blooming shark fat. Yes, one to me, Neptune, you scurvy blob of shark fat. There's a lever. Will you move it? Oh, what else am I expected to do? There's nothing else to interact with in this room. Well, that's one way to let the water out. There's a button, will you push it? There was a sound from the room next door. Now, make sure you do interact with that switch and button, because if you don't press that button, then you won't be able to unlock the door right across next door to across from the control room door you just went through. Now, unless I'm mistaken, there should be additional ammunition pickups to be had in this room. Plus, there should also be a very important key to pick up. The 003 dormitory key, unless I'm very much mistaken. So yeah, that should definitely be in this room. They're all wet and useless. I'm not surprised the amount of water's been flooding around that area in the aqua ring of the guard owls or wherever for yonks on end. Oh, for gosh sake, Jill, will you stop worrying about the wet ammunition and kindly pick up the key, for crying out loud? Yep, number 003 is engraved. Right, wonderful. That's the dormitory key we require to get one step closer to battling it out with Plant 42. Incidentally, that won't be enough by itself, because we need the red book as well. It all makes perfect sense when we get to where we're going. Have no fear. Struth, Sharky and George really let themselves go. Right, so let's get out of this room ASAP. Well, once we pick up this herb. Alright, off to the ladder we go then, everyone. Or Jill in particular. Come on, Jill, let's climb that ladder. One ladder to another, ha ha. Okay, so hopefully it shouldn't be long now for we go on to the next segment of this game we need to do. But as I say, the best things take time, so certain antics can't be rushed, otherwise we'll never get to where we're going. Not quite what I had in mind, Jill. Actually, I need to go back to the safe room first because I need to pick up a little red book. And then after I pick up this red book, we can then go on to the other bits in particular. Because essentially, the key's a great thing, don't get me wrong. It won't be enough by itself to get us to where we're going. I get one roadblock of a door out of our way, but that's the most it's ever going to do. Right, okay, so hopefully we're in the right direction to where we're going. Go through there, and in a bit we're going to use the 003 key on the corresponding door. You've used the 003 key. I'll say that again, we certainly have. Right, so we're in the right place, certainly, so now we just need to use the red book to get the most out of this particular area of the room. And so what's in this play? Anything of use, per se? Ink ribbon. You're a useful thing. I'm not going to turn my nose up at the ink ribbon, certainly, but I'm not going to pick that up yet. I'll pick that up in a bit. In the same part. Row red books. There's one white book. Will you take it? Yes. V-Jolt report. Well, hardly the most riveting file in the whole game. But for the record, just so I'm not being biased, peeps, I'll let the fans of this channel be the judge of that. Blimey, that's quite the secret door that's been opened there. Well, you can keep those tendrils to yourself. You start, little Mary Sunshine. Hi, Plant 42, whatever you want to be called. So yeah, it's Mod Pistol and Beretta versus Plant 40 Faffin 2. Yeah, come on then. Take that. And that. And have another one. Take that, you overgrown Mother's Day plant. Well, I mean, you like taking that pistol rounds, don't you? For gosh sake, how many rounds do you blooming take? Must have taken more rounds up to now than the whole fire department. That's one to me, you overgrown sack of weeds. I guess we can't talk this over like, sensible people, human to plant. Well, guess not. Negotiations over.
What the hell is this?
Barry!
Barry,
Jill.
help me out of this situation and stop asking silly questions for crying out loud. Also, how the heck does Barry get a flamethrower to use on this thing when you can only get that flamethrower from one of the doors in the caverns underneath the courtyard? And you can't leave the caverns. It's impossible to leave the caverns with this item, this weapon, because you have to put this weapon back on the door in order to unlock it, otherwise you can't leave the caverns. Lucky bugger, Barry, with that flamethrower.
You saved me!
Yeah.
That was close. Thanks, Barry.
Don't mention it. What a monster. I can't believe... What the hell is this place anyway?
Well, it's not the most safest environment or area or building in any nook and cranny to be around. That much is clear and sure. This isn't just any run-of-the-mill key, peeps. This is the helmet key. This is borderline essential for two particular doors I need to access in the mansion when we get back.
Okay. I'm gonna stay in the soldiers area and take a look around. Though I'm sure there are still things in that other mansion as well. Anyway, let's start searching separately.
Okay.
Right, we're on our way again. We're taking down Plant 42 and we've got the helmet key. Sound of a gunshot. I wonder where it could be, peeps. Let's have a look, shall we?
Wesker!
The one and only.
Jill, so you're safe.
That's what I was going to say. Where on earth have you been? You disappeared from the hall all of a sudden.
I'm sorry, but I have my reasons. Perhaps you guys have met them? It was all I could do to protect myself against those strange creatures.
Is that right? Anyway, it's good to see you're safe.
Jill, our first priority is to get out of here.
Yes, you're right.
Now, there are a lot of rooms in that mansion that we can't get into because they're locked up. I have been looking around for clues.
Okay, I'll go to the other house and see if I can find any clues.
Will you do that? I'm counting on you.
Yes, sir, Captain Wesker, sir. Good groove. Don't want that faffing each other's flare-up in this cutscene whenever it is like before in-game. Looks like Wesker was fighting bees before we bumped into him. Looks like Captain Albert Wesker really bumbled into something this time. Okay, so might just have a little careful look around in a bit just to make sure that we haven't missed anything health-wise or otherwise before I drop a save and go on to the next segment of the game in the next part. Because at any rate, this far into game, it's better be safe than sorry. So let's drop these herbs off. And then a little butchers around and see what else there is to see. Touch well. Just getting the old inventory prepped and ready to go for the next segment in the next part. Because let's just see what's coming next in the next segment isn't just an opposition enemy that's ferociously dangerous and shouldn't be in any way or form underestimated. It's a threat beyond threats that makes a multitude of the standard opposition we've outwitted and faced up to now look about as intimidating as an infant. Just when it comes to these enemies I'm thinking of in the next segment, they're lethal, they're dangerous, they're fast, and when push comes to shove, they most certainly do not mess about. So what else have we got going here? Now I have to kind of justify, well, that for now, or possibly. I might switch that around in a bit later on. I haven't made up my mind just of yet. But the shotgun will be useful for additional opposition we come across in the next segment. Not specifically the opposition I required the bazooka to deal with, but the standard opposition, well, it's an entirely different thing. Because if I come across standard opposition as opposed to what I'm preparing for with 50 Shades of Bazooka for the next segment, it's best to have both caches of ammo at your disposal, or as good as. Because it wouldn't do to encounter standard opposition and be forced to waste an explosive round on a zombie when that's not what I wanted to use those on. Right, hang on, so something I needed to do in this room, hang on. Oh, buttery blue cakes, I remember now. I needed to pick up that blooming ink ribbon. Right, fine, I'll get the ink ribbon and I'll combine it with the other ink ribbon in the inventory box, the item box, I mean, to level the playing field in the Save-A-Roo department. Because when the chips are down, I'd rather have enough resources to save, heal up, and within reason deal with whatever we have to do if push comes to shove, and not have the appropriate resources for the job to deal with A through to Z at all. I mean, it's a lot, believe me, it's a lot harder to strategize and plan and mull over how you're going to go about doing things than it looks. But when it all comes out the way you want it to do, it's the best, it's the best feeling Enclave and full all round of all. Right, let's combine these two ink ribbons. So we've got a few more saves to the difference and all that. Oh, hello. Sounds like someone's trying to call us on the radio. I wonder who this could be. A Muppet with a pilot left his branch?
I know you can't answer me, but somehow, give me a
Definitely.
This is Jill. Brad? Oh, it's broken.
Either that or high maintenance have a real lot to answer for if we ever do get back to the RPD precincts at the end of this survival horror adventure. Sorry, you won't have to worry about the dogs being around this area anymore, ladies and gentlemen, because they've all buggered off. When you complete the segments, pretty much everything the guardhouse has to offer, the dogs vanish. Which is a great handy trait, because imagine if they remained there indefinitely. Then it would be practically impossible to pick up those healing items without taking cheap hits from them. As they're not there, you can pick up whatever pickups you want without any concerns of them getting a cheap hit in, because they're not there to attack you or be in the same vicinity of area you are. Which is absolutely wonderful. Either that, or they were killed, or the zombie dogs were killed by the particular opposition I'm preparing to face in the next segment, in the next part after this. Right, rotate the items a bit, so we've got first aid spray with first aid spray, and green herb with green herb, and otherwise, etc, etc. Now, in conjunction with the remaining herbs outside, where the dogs previously were, there should be some additional herb items around here. And we'll pick these up as well in a pinch, because, well, why on earth not? Because at the end of the day, I mean, it's they're in closer proximity to the safe room than the herbs outside are. Plus, on top of that, why leave potential healing items behind when we never had to come back to the guardhouse again? So yeah, I'm nabbing them, I'll nab them, I'll bring them back to the item box in the safe room. And then after that, I think I'll drop a save and get ready to face a very intimidating and scary foe to face in the next part. Right, just pop off to retrieve those stragglers, i.e. herbs, from the adjoining area outside. Then I'll pop back to the safe room one more time to drop a save. Come on, darlings, let's get this little bit dealt with, shall we? Okay, so two blue herbs left, I believe. So we'll take them. And then I can once I get back to the save room, do what I do with using 30 Shades of Typewriter to save. It'll be an interesting part, certainly in the next part after this, to see how it all plays and pans out, and how certain aspects of it turn out and go, because they're not opposition in the next segment to be underestimated at all. They're capable of feats in one go if they so choose to try it or apply it, that a majority of the standard opposition will be lucky if they could do in one go, if they so equally tried. Okay, I am Bucks. Pop you two in a safe place, and I'll borrow one of your little ink ribbons if I may, because I got a save to drop. Okay, deal out the ink ribbons on the item box. I've got a save to make. You can save your progress, yes. Of course I will save my progress. Why the blueberry scones wouldn't I? I'm certainly not doing all that again. Well, I'm certainly not doing all that again here in games, so at least if I save and anything goes against me, or otherwise I've got to do it all over again. Thanks for watching, guys. This will be the end of part 5, and I'll see you guys in the next part of Resident Evil Director's Cut. Thanks for watching, guys. Goodbye.